So last week I mentioned that someone in one of the classes, thank you Beck, mentioned that she came to the mat and only did one pose because she wasn't up for a full practice. And you know, what do we even call a full practice? What is a full practice? It's anything you want it to be. You know, it could be 5 minutes on the mat in Savasana, and that's your full practice for the day. It could be just a couple of poses. It could be an hour. So I don't want you to think of a full practice as what you would normally do in a class, because this is designed to get you on the mat at home, to give you an idea of what to look for in your body and to gauge what you need for that particular day. So this being the morning practice. Morning George, morning Cheryl, how are you? So we've been doing our full morning practice, which has been, I think it's 5 poses if I remember rightly. So today we're going to do the first one, Eastern Prayer / Child's Pose. And we're going to just explore that. Okay, so for people who, when you get on the mat sometimes, and we all do it, we just think, oh, I just can't be bothered, or I don't know what I want today. My back's sore, I'm tired. What am I going to do? This is a really great way to just gently open the body, to start to get the breath flowing, the prana flowing through the body without too much effort. And in fact, there's really very little effort, but we'll explore a few different variations that you can do when you just want to do this Eastern Prayer Child's Pose practice on its own. Okay, so as always, we'll start with a check-in. So finding a nice comfortable seat, and you don't have to be sitting like this. We might do that in another video actually, how to sit well. And it doesn't have to look like this, it doesn't have to look like lotus pose. It looks like how you look comfortable. So let's get going. So just seated that you are comfortable, that your diaphragm's open and able to breathe without any restriction. And I always start with a few sighs. So take an inhale, not too deep, just a nice inhale, and sigh it out. Do that a few more times and just notice the reaction from your body. Just feel the reaction that your body has to that sigh. It's a really good way to start to become familiar with the subtle sensations within you. And then just begin to notice. We'll spend a bit more time on this today. Begin to notice where you come in contact with the floor or whatever you're sitting on. The legs, the glutes. If you're cross-legged, maybe the ankles, sides of the feet. And notice if there's any holding in the legs. Can you let go of the legs? Or is there tension? Are you not comfortable? Find somewhere that is. And then notice up along the length of the spine, whether you're slouched or whether you're propped, meaning the muscles are holding you up there. See if you can relax and just let the structure, the bony structure of your body support the posture. Relax the shoulders. What are they doing? Are they feel like they're up around the ears? Can you let go a little more? The arms, just having them relaxed. The jaw, the scalp. And then just check in and notice any little sensations that you may be feeling within your body. Tingling, discomfort, pain, areas that are really comfortable. So allowing our mind to not only witness the areas in discomfort, but witness the areas in comfort. And notice maybe there could be areas in your body where you feel a sensation of emotion. Generally, if you've got something going on in your life that creates strong emotion, we will feel that in the body somewhere. So notice if you have that. Excuse me. Notice your mind chatter. What's going on there today? How do you feel about what's coming up? Are you getting stuck on things? Are they the same things? Do you have a sense of fogginess or clarity in your mind? Notice your breath rhythm, just your natural rhythm of breathing in this state. It may be smooth, maybe erratic, maybe deep, maybe shallow. Remembering there's no right or wrong, it's just how it is for you right in this moment. Become familiar with looking at that, with exploring yourself. And then if you would like to make an intention for your practice or your day, make that intention based on what you've found. So what does your body, your mind, your heart need from your practice for today, from you throughout the day? It's making that intention. Then let's let your chin drop down toward your chest. Just have a little roll of the shoulders. And then let's come over into Eastern prayer. So we'll start with our basic Eastern prayer that we've been doing in our morning practice. So having your knees underneath the hips, let's just start there, underneath the hips, and then bring the hands, you can see here they're directly under my shoulders, bring the hands a little further forward. Okay, and that's going to help you get length in the spine and in the low back. And then on your exhale, sit back down onto your heels. Keep the hands where they are and take your bottom back and down. Now, you may end up here because of tightness in your legs, in your back, or you may end up down onto your heels or close to it. Now stay there if you're comfortable there. Excuse me, I'm going to grab a block. If you need to, if you're a little higher and you can't get to the floor, then maybe you might like to pop a block or something underneath your forehead, like so. Maybe you just make a little stack with your fists and place them onto your forehead, or your forehead onto them. If you have sore knees, another option, if it's not really comfortable for you, is to bring a folded blanket or a pillow underneath or behind the back of the knees. And that creates a little bit more space in the back of the knees. And then you can sit there, and that could be a bit easier for your knees. Another option, if you have really bad knees, is to use a bench or a couch, your couch in the lounge room, and just find length that way against the wall. And we'll do that a little bit further down the track when we do dog. But at the moment, we're reaching the arms, keep the arms active. And what are you noticing here? Are you noticing the shoulders, the armpits, the chest, the back, like the upper back, the lower back, the hips, the glutes, maybe the thighs? Just being aware of whatever you're noticing here. How does it feel? How comfortable is it? How tight are you? How's your breath here? Excuse my throat this morning. And then breathe in and come back up to the start. Just take a moment here. Belly in, ribs in. Just feel the breath. And then this time when you go down with the exhale, I want you to focus on pulling the belly back toward the spine as you sit back. And notice how different that feels when you consciously do that. Taking an inhale, breathing out, drawing the belly in nice and close on the exhale as you sit down. And what do you notice then? And let's do that again. Breathing in, come up. And breathing out, sit it back down. Belly in toward the spine. And then I invite you just to relax the elbows down to the floor. Let everything soften. And just be here for a moment. Feeling the breath, the flow of the breath. How easy is it to breathe in that position? Do you feel tightness anywhere as you breathe? Starting to shift the energy through the body, just in this nice gentle way. Come back up with your inhale and have a little shift of your pelvis from side to side, just rocking it from side to side a little. Just feeling into the hips. And sink back down. So all these tiny little movements between each sit creates a little shift in the body. A little bit more space. And then I invite you to lift halfway up and move your hands and your upper body over toward the right. So we just walk the hands around a little and then sink back down, and you'll feel that opening in the left side of the body. The waist, the ribs, the hip, the shoulder. Everybody will feel it slightly differently because we all have different areas of holding in the body, different body shapes. Just be there with the breath. And then walk your hands back through center or to center. Let's stay in center first and just take a moment here. What do you feel when you're back in center after that one opening to the side? There will probably be a noticeable difference between left and right. And then up and around to the left, opening the right side of the body. One side might be more comfortable than the other to turn to. Be aware of that. So a home practice is all about learning to become more familiar with yourself. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable emotionally. But if you can, just stick with it. Try not to judge yourself. Come back to center and come back up onto your hands and knees. And then we're going to do just one little cat-cow. So breathing in, coming forward, and breathing out and rounding. And then sit back down. Walk around to the right and come up onto your hands and knees there. So you'll see, I'll change my angle. That's what it's going to look like. And I might even stay here actually for this one. And then sink back down with the exhale there. Hands stay where they are. Sinking back down there. It's quite a big opening. Come back up with the inhale. And sink back down. And then do it again. Okay, coming back up. Let's just try a little cat-cow on this angle. It's quite interesting to feel that here. So you let the chest come forward and you look forward, and you'll probably notice the left front ribs or the left waist. And then you round the back in this position. What are you noticing there? Come forward and sit back down. And come back to center. Take a moment here to pause and feel. And then we're going to move around to the left, where you're comfortable. And then come up onto your hands and knees, look forward. And then sink back down on that side. Is this side more comfortable or less comfortable, or no different? 2 more. Always coming up with the inhale and down with the exhale. And when you do these side bends, always start with the right side. You just want to go with the flow of nature, go with the flow of our colon from right to left. And then coming back up for a little cat-cow, forward and back. Coming forward, sitting back down, and move back to center, and notice how that feels. Take a nice inhale, nice deep inhale, let it all go. And then another thing we can do here, which I find is really nice, is to wiggle our way down. So I'll do it from this angle facing you so you can see what I mean. And we're getting into the hips again a little more here. So on the exhale, instead of going straight back down like so, start to wiggle from side to side. So we just shift a little to the left, and then we shift a little to the right, a little zigzag. And as we lower down, we just switch from side to side with the hips until we settle in center. Take an inhale and an exhale. Come straight back up. And then shuffle back down or zigzag back down, but start on the other side. So I started left to right last time. This time I'm going to start from right to left. Wiggling down. Keep the arms glued to the floor. And then settle it in the bottom. Let the forehead rest on the floor, let the elbows go. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Feel the back body breathing. And then just one more little variation is you can start to take your knees wider. So when we take the knees wide, we want to bring the toes together, so you'll be able to see my toes here joining together. And only go as wide as you are comfortable, because when you sit back down, if it's really, really tight, I want you to bring them in, okay? And just over time, as your hips make more space, then go wider, okay? So just start wherever you're at today and know that it changes from day to day. So my knees are wide, my feet are together, everything else is the same. Sitting back down, and you'll notice your chest will come a little closer to the floor now. Sinking down. I've got a visitor come to see me. Hey, Jack. Sinking down. Maybe the chest is on the floor, maybe it's not. Just stop wherever you're comfortable. Be there with the breath and feel what's going on around the hips, the front of the hips, the back of the hips. Let yourself sink. Sinking down. Just keeping it real here for you all. Nice. And then sit back up. Just, you can either walk your hands back up or push into your feet and come back up. Just do whatever's more comfortable for you. And then come and sit into hero pose. Have a little roll of your shoulders. Notice how you feel. Just noticing the shifts in the body. So that whole practice has taken almost the whole time. Okay, so that's how one pose, once you start exploring it, can take a full practice. You know, maybe it was your practice is just 1 5-minute or maybe even 3 minutes like this. Okay, and maybe that's all it is. But then usually you'll find once you get to the mat and you start exploring, you can just explore that one pose and shift your body in different positions and notice what's going on there. And what do I need if, you know, what happens if I open this side of the body? What happens if I open that side of the body? Now that I've done that, how does that feel? There's no right or wrong. So just exploring what's going on for you. So I always encourage a short little savasana. So if you have something to pop under your knees, pop under your knees. But just laying yourself down just for a moment so that all those movements can be integrated into the body. All the breaths that you've taken, all the thoughts and emotions that you've had or felt. It's all relevant. Just give yourself some time here. And then if you want to stay in Savasana, stay in Savasana. If you want to sit up and do a little bit of breath work, feel free to sit up and do that. But if you would really like to stay in Savasana, then I encourage you to do that. So all we're doing is 3 rounds of alternate nostril breathing. Making yourself comfortable. Again, just setting yourself down into your seat. And with your right hand up to your face, thumb on the right nostril, ring finger on the left. Take an inhale and an exhale through both nostrils. Close the right. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. In through the right and out through the left. In through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left, in through the left, out through the right, in through the right and out through the left. Bring the hand down, take 3 breaths through both nostrils. Being aware of the flow. And then just sit for a moment. Noticing maybe the flow of the breath, maybe the sensations in the body. Whatever your focus is for today, wherever your mind takes you, and even if it's thoughts, it's still a meditation. It's a meditation to watch your thoughts. But just be in this space and notice whatever you're noticing. bring your hands to your heart center. Notice the sensation, the energy around the heart center. Feel the gratitude there for your practice, for your effort, for making space in your day for yourself to practice, to look inward. And just take a moment to remember your intention. If you had an intention for the day, just reminding yourself of that. And being grateful for your Sangha that shares this practice with you. Namaste. Thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. So we have gone, 3 minutes over, and we only did one pose. Okay, that was our focus. So I just wanted you to see that, it doesn't have to be so many sun salutations, or has to have a warrior, or it has to have a dog. Let your practice be whatever it is. So again, with these practices in my morning practice that I've been taking you through, this is just a guide that you can use when you get to the mat and you're not sure what you want to do, until you become a little bit more familiar, okay, with a home practice, and a little bit more comfortable, confident in what you want to do. Okay, so thanks everyone. Have a great